Hi, my name is Anaide and I'm an author. I am here to read some of my writings to you. Today you'll hear a segment from Magical News, and today's episode is about a rock band. I hope you'll enjoy it. Egan, Silverora, you wouldn't believe the news I have for you. I am Egan Enchanting and you are listening to the Chimes of Fregidia. Today we are bringing you the story of fall and rise of the House of Bloodwyrms. So, for those who are not well versed in Fregidian nobility, who are the Bloodwyrms, Franulf? Franulf. The Bloodwyrms are an ancient noble house of Fregidia with a vast estate in the north. Head of clan uses the title of Baron and their official office within the royal court is Wyrmmaster. The first Baron of Bloodwyrm earned his title by healing King Endorian after he was attacked by worms. Again, the legends allude to worms as the giant snake-like variety, but historians agree that the king was actually suffering from small worms swimming through his blood system and drinking his blood. The first Baron of Bloodwyrm was able to cure the king and was greatly rewarded. Years later, historian Gradivus accused the Baron of infecting the king in the first place, and the then Baron saw red, right, Franulf? Franulf, yes, again. The 11th Baron sued Gradivus for defamation and lost. With evidence from the laboratory of the Crimson Coven, Gradivus was able to prove that the worms were modified through blood magic and could be cured only by the initial wizard or his descendants. Bloodworms were identified as the source of magic behind the modification, and the family lost their royal office and significant amount of money as a penalty. Again, the situation turned dire because the 11th Baron, unable to adjust to simpler life, squandered the rest of family fortune before he died. The title transferred to his son, who was forced to sell everything to cover family's debt. After paying up, the new Baron disappeared. Franulf. That was 3 years ago. Today he is a member of a band called Curse the System that took the nation by storm. We invited Cursebreaker, formerly known as Baron of Bloodwyrm, to tell us how he got where he is today. What gave you the idea to pursue music? The magical mirror splits the screen in half to show a man in dark cloak artificially made to look worn. The cloak is lined with silver. He has black hair and black lipstick. His favorite color is pretty clear. Cursebreaker. Well, it was more of a survival thing. When I sold my estate, I had no money, no place to live, and no life skills. I never worked a day in my life, so anytime I tried to work somewhere to earn a living, they soon fired me. I was really angry at my father, at the world, and at myself. To get it out of my system, I sang about it. I thought I was alone, but then someone passing by threw me a copper. I was ecstatic. I decided then and there to become a musician. Again, and how did it go? Cursebreaker. Oh, terrible. I was playing in the streets and sometimes I got a few coins. Other times I had stones thrown at me. I was living from hand to mouth until Edwin came along. He saved me from an angry merchant who didn't like my texts much. Well, yeah, you were singing about burning the houses of the rich. Of course he got angry, said a voice off screen. Cursebreaker. Edwin, you're on the news. Edwin, still off screen. Oh, hell. I'm sorry for interrupting. And for saying hell. Oh no, I did it again. Franulf. Is that your bandmate Edwin? Egan. Would he like to join the interview? On the screen appears a handsome young man with golden blonde hair and blue eyes. He smiles brightly and everybody except for Franulf seems to melt. Edwin. I guess I could. Hello, my name is Edwin and I'm the second member of Curse the System. You can continue telling them how we met, see? Cursebreaker. But you tell it better. Edwin. If you say so. You see, I was just minding my own business, resting after finishing my shift at a bakery, when I saw a man running at full speed towards me. His eyes pleaded for help, so I grabbed him and pulled him through employee's entrance. We waited in silence until the merchant ran past us. We awkwardly parted ways and I thought I'd never see him again. Cursebreaker. Oh, how wrong you were. I went to the bakery to thank you, and I heard you sing to yourself over a sheet of buns, and bam! I knew together we would make the perfect band. You didn't want to hear of it though. I went over every day for the entire month to convince you. I also had to buy something, or the owner wouldn't let me in. But I was broke, so I always bought the cheapest roll. Edwin, I thought you were joking at first, but you never gave up. I was hesitant to leave my job until you talked to my boss, and he gave me 3 months leave and guaranteed job if I wanted to come back. Curse breaker. He loves you like a son. He wouldn't have said no to anything you wanted. So I stole Edwin away and it worked wonders. Soon we filled the squares with fans, and we got invited to inns, pubs, and later even to some fancy birthday celebrations and balls. Edwin. Pretty soon the squares were too full. We usually played on market days, and now instead of inhibiting the trade, we paralyzed it. We got the idea to play in a barren field outside the city, but we ran into another problem. There were too many people, and those in the back couldn't hear anything. Curse breaker. We needed to amplify the sound. After a lot of trial and error, we constructed these little boxes that magically increase the volume and reach of sound. Now we are able to play for thousands of people at once. Franulf. That's fascinating. Where can our viewers hear you next? Curse breaker. We have a big concert in 2 days on the West Fields of Marquis of Wishington, an old friend of mine. The capacity of the field is limited to around 2,000 attendees. We even sell little entrance papers that are going to be checked by security upon entering. Our priority is safety. We wouldn't want anyone to get hurt because of us. Edwin. We also have a special announcement planned for the end of the concert, so if you're interested, there are still a few tickets available. Everybody working on Chimes of Frigida can come for free though. We'd love to see you there. We're in, says Egan, while Franulf looks a bit green. 1 week later. The camera zooms in on a big field that is divided into sections by poles with ropes attached to them. Different sections are all connected by little stone paths. There are security guards in black and white supervising all the entrances, checking tickets and leading attendees to their respective sections. Egan and Franulf are standing in their own section. Egan, something's changed. Why aren't you frowning? Franulf, I was frowning. A week ago, when I came home from work, my daughter almost tackled me in the doorway, asking me all about Curse Breaker and Edwin. That's how I learned my daughter was a die-hard fan of Curse the System. I had to listen to her sing their praise for the entire week. Egan, truly tragic, Franulf, she said ironically. Franulf, no, it got worse. 3 days in, my wife joined the fan club. I started to get a bit worried. Like, what if my wife develops a crush on a man that is 10 times hotter than I ever was? Egan, which one of them do you mean? Franulf, both. And just yesterday, I heard them sing on the TV and it got to me. Their music is actually really good. I even caved and bought my wife and daughter tickets. This section was already full, but I paid ungodly price for some first row tickets. Egan, at least your family is here. My girlfriend wanted to come so badly, but she was called to work for an emergency. There was fire in Redwood and most of the firefighting squads got sent there. Franulf, I'm sorry to hear that. It's hard sometimes, but I'm glad she chooses to protect the city every day. I sleep better at night knowing people like her have our back. Egan, thank you for saying that. The conversation gets interrupted by the band coming on the stage. Next hour is filled with music and the crowd loves it. After announcing the last song, Curse Breaker adds to the microphone. As we already teased, we have an announcement. Actually, we have two. Would you care to start, Edwin? Edwin, of course. Starting today, we are releasing recording stones. They allow you to listen to our music wherever you go. They have 100 plays and you can recharge them in most music stores with the same song or even different ones. You can grab some in our shop here after the concert. The crowd cheers and Cursebreaker waits as they calm down. Cursebreaker. And we saved the best for the last. If you follow my career, you know I never answer questions about my love life. Today, I will break my own rule. I believe you deserve to know that I found the love of my life and we are to be married. Cursebreaker takes a few steps towards Edwin and takes his hand. Allow me to introduce my future husband Edwin, he says, and the crowd's roar of approval is deafening. Edwin and Cursebreaker share a passionate kiss as the crowd cheers them on. Egan notices Franulf looking a bit shocked. Egan, are you still gonna like them after this? Franulf, I'm going to love them even more. My wife's crush is now out of the realm of possibility and I'm a bit relieved. And most of all, I love happy endings. If you made it this far, thank you for listening, and I really hope you will tune in next time. I should probably say like, comment and subscribe, but do what you want. See ya!